Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a bit of a different video. I've got a more sit down video, whereas I've had my vlogs for the last couple of videos. So today I've got a tips for university video for you. Personally, I was at university for 3 years. I went to Buckinghamshire New University, which is in High Wycombe, and I did a BA Hons in Performing Arts. I graduated last year, so summer 2021. So yeah, I've been to uni. I know what it's like. I know all the highs and all the lows, and I know there are many of both. So I thought I'd just share some of my tips and tricks for if you're starting university or going back to university into your second or third or fourth year, whatever year. So yes, so tip number one, from my own point of view, talk to your flatmates. So I know it might sound really like silly or very obvious, but honestly, your flatmates are going to be the first people you meet, more than likely, who you're going to be spending your time with. You're going to be living with them for the best part of a year. So talk to them, find out what they like to do, where they're from, things about themselves, about their families. I was super lucky. My flat was really amazing, and we were quite like tight, and that just made life so much better because we'd spend every evening together. We'd like cook at the same time and then we'd eat at the same time. We'd spend our time in the kitchen. We used to have something called laptop club, where we'd all do our work in the kitchen. Then we'd go in the lads' rooms and play on the Xbox or PlayStation. And it was just so much fun. So honestly, talk to your flatmates. Like I said, they're going to be the first people you meet, and going to university, especially for the first time, is quite daunting. So just having them familiar faces, you can go out together, you can go exploring, go find the uni, the local shops, all that kind of stuff. And it's just nice to have a group to do that with, even if it's a couple of you, like there's only 3 of you or something. So we had 6 of us, and then we had 2 people come over from the other flat who basically live with us as well. But yeah, so I know it sounds really obvious, but just talk, make conversation. Some people are more nervous than others, so if you're feeling kind of a little bit more at ease and a little bit more confident, then go and talk to someone, make conversation with them, and you will help them feel at ease, as I'm sure someone will do for you if it was the other way around as well. Tip number 2 is go to freshers events. Even if you're not a fresher, you're a second or third year, and I don't know, whatever, just go to the freshers events. They are so much fun. I was very lucky at Bucks that we had something called the Big Deal, which meant that all of our freshers events were free, and now I know that not every university has that. A lot of my friends have been to universities where you do have to pay, but if you can talk to people before you go using the different chats they've got, so you obviously can find people on Instagram and Facebook, and then I can't remember what it was called now, but we had like an app that you could use, where you could like meet people who were going to the same university, staying in the same halls, all that kind of thing. So if you talk to people on there, you can find out what events people are going to, but also just book something that like sparks your interest. If there's like a UV party or something and you like that kind of thing, then just book onto it and go, because that's how you'll meet people. You might bump into people that are on your course, or you're later friends with through society or something. On my first night out, I went out of my flat and I bumped into 2 people from my course, and one of them is now my absolute best friends. So, you know, go to these events. Obviously I'd met her on my course anyway, but you just bump into people and then you become friends with them. And sometimes it's just people that you see if you go on like regular nights out. You'll see them often, and you kind of can then say hi to them when you're out and about. But yeah, if you do have to pay, choose a few to go to, and just like get out there and make the most of it. You do not have to drink. You can just be on water all night if you wanted to. It's just about mingling and yeah, making friends with people really. But I'd say definitely go to at least a few of the events. Now the next one, go to your uni introductions. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, you go to uni for the freshers and things like that, but honestly, go to these introductions. You don't have to go to all of them, but especially the first one where you kind of meet your course mates, and your tutors. Make sure you're there, because otherwise if everyone else is there and you're not, then you're gonna come in not knowing what's going on, not knowing anyone, and it might be a bit awkward. So just go, and then like I say, you'll meet your course mates, you'll meet your tutor, you'll know exactly what's going on, you'll know exactly when you're starting, where you are, what you need to bring. They usually will show you around some of the spaces that you'll be working in as well. So as a performing arts student, we had a couple of different drama studios, so we got shown like where they are. Whereas if you miss that, then you might be walking around on the first day for ages trying to figure out where to go. And like I said, it will also give you like introductions to your tutors, and they can then tell you you can expect from the course. And yeah, I think it's really important for you to meet people. If you live with people or near people who are also on the same course, you can then walk together, and you can get chatting to your course mates and find out where people live, because you might not know someone lives so close to you, and then you can walk together and home together from uni. But yeah, it's a great way of getting to know your course mates and your tutor, and figuring out where on earth to go at the university, as most universities are quite large buildings and have quite a few spaces. So yeah, go to the introductions. My next tip number 4, I think, is join the clubs and societies. Like I said earlier, we have the big deal, which meant all of our clubs and societies were free. So if you are going to Buxton University by any chance, then you're very lucky. But join them. There are so many clubs and societies nowadays. They're literally, I can't even name all of them, but from every kind of sport, American football, hockey, rugby, swimming, all of that, through to like film societies. I was in the musical theatre society. There is literally everything. And at my university, I think it might be the same in other universities, you can start a society as well, as long as you've got a certain amount of numbers and things like that, like a certain amount of members. But yeah, honestly, just join them, because I was part of the cheer squad and, as I said, musical theatre, and I actually became committee for musical theatre in my 2nd and 3rd year because I loved it so much. You just get to meet people with similar interests. It's a great way of meeting new friends, and if they've got the same interest as you, then you're already onto a winner, because you've got something to talk about. They meet regularly as well, so even if then you don't become best friends with people, you'll have some other friends who have similar interests that you might be able to see out and about. And if you enjoy something, why would you not want to do it weekly? Or I think sometimes they meet twice a week or something. And also they do socials. So outside of the clubs, if you were to go on a night out, you'd go to a social first, and they have different themes, which are always really fun, so you get to dress up. And with our university, you'd go to a social and it had like a theme. So for example, it could be like Hawaiian themed or something, and then we'd head to the Students' Union after, and you just go as a big group and you play games, and you just get to know everyone a little bit better. And it's just a really great way, like I said, of making friends, which obviously everyone wants to do at the start of university. No one wants to be on their own, and it also means that you've got somewhere to go, something to do in the evenings, like to distract you away from, not distract you, but take you away, give you a break from your studying and things like that. And you can also take your friends along with you. If you're wanting to join the a cappella society and one of your friends is into it too, take them along with you and you'll have the best time. Clubs and societies honestly made my university experience, and I know it's the same for so many of my friends and people I know from uni. So get involved if you can, even if you have to pay. I'm pretty sure it's like a termly or yearly thing, and they're never that expensive, so just get involved. It's so worth it. So sticking with the getting involved theme, go on nights out. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't have to drink, you can just be on water or lemonade or whatever you want to drink, or if you don't want to drink, go for it. But just go on nights out, because it's another way of mingling with your friends, meeting new people, having a good time, have a little dance to some music. Sometimes there might be events on as well, so I know universities like get ball pits in. At our university we've had like dodgems, you get DJs in, all kinds of different artists. It's just so much fun. Like, you don't have to drink to have a good time, you can just go completely sober and still have the best time. Like I said, have a bit of a dance, and they can just be so much fun. You don't even have to stay out late. Some of the events I think start at like 10 until they run until like 3. That was at my university anyway. I think that's kind of like a general kind of time. You don't have to stay the whole time, just go for an hour or so if you want to. If it's not the kind of thing that you're into, you can leave, but I'm sure one of the events you'll find something that you like. But it's just a great way as well, like I said earlier about joining clubs and societies. I find a little break from studying, having a bit of fun with your friends, just going out, letting your hair down, because university, as much as you're there for the education, which is very important, you're also there to make memories and to have a good time. You're there for 3 years of your life, so you want to have some fun. So yeah, I'd say go on nights out, just so you know you've experienced it. And if you decide you do it throughout your first year and decide you don't want to do it again, then that's completely fine, but you've given it a go. And like I said, it's just a great way because you can go with your friends and you might meet new people, see people from your course there. You know, it's a great social night basically. So my next couple of tips are kind of more uni work related. So that's obviously what you go to uni for, so here we go. So the first one that's uni work related is get your work done on time. And I know that sounds so obvious, but so many people don't do it. So just get your work done on time, then you won't have to stress, you won't have to worry. And a lot of the time at uni I'm pretty sure other unis use it to turn it in, so it's an online submission process. And if that crashes or is down for any reason and you haven't submitted your work, then I think it's an automatic fail a lot of the time, especially in your second and third year when your grades fully count, because first year you have to put all the effort in, but it doesn't actually count towards your final grade. So don't leave it to the last minute, don't leave it until the night before or the day of, just get it done. Submit it the day before, so any problems, you don't have to face them, or if any problems do occur, you've got the next day to submit as well. So yeah, that'd be my biggest tip. Don't be one of them people that leave it to the last minute and then rush it. If you work well under pressure, tell yourself your deadline's the day before or something, just so you've got it done in time. Because the worst thing is having that uni stress and then not submitting, and then you're worried you're not going to get it graded, you're going to get a fail, and then it's going to affect your final grade and all that stuff. So just don't do that. Just do it on time. It's so much more relaxing, and I think personally for me, I get better quality work. I know a lot of people do work well under pressure, but it's just better to have it done, isn't it? Done and dusted, then you can go enjoy yourself. So that's my first tip. Tip number 2 for the work related stuff is use your tutors. They are literally there to help you. They get paid to help you. At most universities, contact time is 12 hours a week, if that, or something. So for the rest of the time, they might be teaching other classes and things like that, but use them. They are literally there to be used. So if you have a question, send them an email, drop in by their office and see them. Email's probably the easiest way. But I asked my tutor so many questions. He was absolutely sick of me, but I'd send him like drafts of my essays and everything. But he would say to me if it got to the point where he wasn't allowed to tell me something because you know, it could like jeopardize my mark, or but if he told me too much information or anything like that. But honestly, use them to your full advantage. If you're unsure of something, like you don't understand an assignment, don't sit there like panicking and being like, oh my god, just email your tutor. Ask one of your course mates, email your tutor, because they have probably taught that same module, that same subject so many times, so they know exactly what they're looking for, they know the criteria, they know their marking. So just ask them. I've told so many people who are like, oh, I don't really want to bother them. I'm like, just do it. They're literally paid to do that. So use them. I've always had that attitude all throughout school and everything. I'm not afraid to ask questions, and you shouldn't be either, because this is your grade at the end of the day, this is your experience. So use them to the full, make the most out of it so you get the best out of it. Use your tutors. I'm telling you, it's the best thing. And if they ever moan about it, then they're not a very good tutor, because like I said, they're literally getting paid to do that. So you should have more than one tutor, so if one doesn't really help, message another one. That's what I did. Another tip is use the university resources and services that are available to you. So we had both the university and the students' union resources services available to us. And the same as using your tutors, use them. I'm sure at most universities there'll be like a learning support unit, and we were able to use that to submit like our essays to, so we could get help with grammar, spelling, reading through it to make sure it made sense and things like that. Obviously there are Grammarly and other websites like that, but having someone who is like an academic person to look through it for you can be so helpful. So use them. If they're there for you, they're free, use them. We also had services, which I'm sure most universities have, like counselling. So if you feel like you need it, because university can be very tough for lots of people in many different ways, use them. They're there to be used. Again, they get paid, or I'm pretty sure all of them get paid, or if not, they volunteer their time to help people. They want to help people, so use them. Never be afraid to reach out to someone if you need it, whether it be mental health wise, with your work, with struggling with finances, any of that kind of thing. Reach out to them. They are literally there to be used. And I'm sure most universities have different services, like we did, who want to help you. So never hold back, just dive right in, and use them, because if you're not, someone else will. So you may as well get the most out of your university experience. Like I said, get the most out of your course to get the best grades, and it will also help you. I think just having someone else, like a fresh pair of eyes, look over your work sometimes can be really, really helpful, because you have spent so many hours like writing away that you probably don't realise, and you're blind to any spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes and things like that. So the learning support isn't just there for people who have learning support difficulties, who need the learning support, so people with like dyslexia and autism and things like that. They are there for everyone, so make the most of them, use them to your full advantage while you can. And now another general tip, this is my second to last: don't overpack. I think everyone in their first year overpacks. They think, what if I need this, what if I need that, I need 5 saucepans and 5 trays and everything like that. But just don't, because you're realistically, you're not going to need that many things. If you get a good flat and you're happy to, you guys will probably end up sharing trays and saucepans and things anyway. Obviously you kind of want your own cutlery, but realistically, I mean, your cutlery might break, so you might need a couple of spare. But if it's only you and you might have someone visit you but only one person, you only really need 2 or 3 sets, like of knife, fork and spoon. You don't need all that much. Uni rooms are also really small, so you don't need to decorate it massively. You might want a couple of things up on the wall or on your desk or shelves or whatever, but you really don't need to pack that much, because it probably won't fit, and then you don't want to try and fit everything into a small room, so it will just feel really cramped. So yeah, don't overpack. And also, you don't have to buy everything new. At university, most of your stuff will probably get ruined, like kitchenware especially, like trays, saucepans, frying pans. I basically left all of that there. I was like, by the end of it, I do not want to take that home. So yeah, especially if you're going into your second or third year, or you're already thinking, you're in your first year, you're thinking that next year you'd like to live in a house rather than uni accommodation, you'll probably end up sharing, because say if there's 4 or 5 of you in a house together, you're not going to need everyone's stuff, because it will just completely clutter the kitchen and the cupboards. So you'd want to talk about like who's going to bring the saucepan, or like 2 or 3 of them, who's going to bring trays, everything like that. So just don't overpack, because you've got to take it all home at the end of it as well. So you do not need that much stuff, I promise you. And finally, my final tip, and probably the most important in my opinion, is to enjoy yourself, because it goes so quickly. Like I said, I did 3 years at university. Half of it was during the pandemic, which didn't help, but also it just whizzes by. All of my friends said to me, so I had some friends in 3rd year when I was in 1st year, and they were like, just submerge yourself in everything because it goes so quickly. And I was like, yeah, whatever. They were not wrong. It really does just whiz by. So fully just embrace every single moment. Go out with your friends, use the services uni provide you, go to your lectures, don't miss your lectures because you might miss something really important. Just do absolutely everything, join clubs and societies, and enjoy it while you're there, because there's so many times when, especially when you're under stress and you're like, I can't wait for this to be over and everything like that, but it'll be over just like that before you know it. So just fully embrace it while you're there, enjoy it, because not everyone says that they're the best years of their lives, but I had the absolute best time at university, particularly before COVID kind of came and, you know, did its thing. But it's just, it is the best time, and it is what you make it. If you sit in your room for a lot of it, then you're probably not going to enjoy it so much. Whereas if you, of course, dedicate time to studying, but also time to actually enjoying yourself and meeting new people and doing things you enjoy, it makes it so much more worthwhile. And you're paying a heck of a lot of money to be there, so you may as well make it fun. So yeah, just fully enjoy it, enjoy every moment, because they don't last forever and it goes by far too quickly. I wish I was still there, I really do, but gotta grow up one day. So enjoy it. Honestly, it's the biggest piece of advice, and I don't think until it's over you quite realise just how quickly, like, you blink and it's gone. And you think about it, and there were so many highs and so many lows, but you got through it. So enjoy it while you can, because one day it will all be over far too soon. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, I hope you found some of these tips helpful. If you have been to university or you have any questions, then feel free to leave your comments down below with any tips, any tricks, any questions you may have, and I'll happily answer them. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you are going to university, I hope you have the absolute best time. If you're returning to university, then I also hope you have the best time, and remember to just make the most out of it, because I wish I was going back to university this year. I'd like to be a fresher again. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!